Hi everyone, the book I'm reviewing today is called Finding Me by Viola Davis. So, a bit different to the books I usually read. I received this as a gift from a friend. Thank you. I absolutely loved reading this book. I consumed it really. I couldn't put it down in a day. It's absolutely captivating. I think in Viola's journey of finding her, it takes you through a journey yourself, of finding yourself, of deep introspection, deep thoughts in terms of from childhood to now, uh, memories, flashbacks, thoughts, and giving you a fresh perspective or a lens. Viola really takes you through that journey. I love that a book is so raw, it's so authentic. It talks about issues that we all sometimes know exist, but we never speak about them. It talks so openly, it helps to give you a sort of inner strength and courage to look at yourself and the scars that you have and wear them proudly. I'm going to read a few extracts and give you some thoughts as we go along. My throat got tight and I could feel the tears welling up. Memories are immortal. They're deathless and precise. They have the power of giving you joy and perspective in hard times, or they can strangle you, define you in a way that's based more in other people's tucked up perceptions than truth. And though I was many years and many miles away from Central Falls, Rhode Island, I had never stopped running. My feet just stopped moving. This is the memory that defined me. It is a powerful memory because it was the first time my spirit and heart were broken. I defined myself by the fear and rage of those boys. I felt ugly. I felt unwanted, even by God. I wanted so badly to fit into this world, but instead I was being spit out like vomit. Who I was offended them. The memory budded itself inside me and metasized. It didn't help that I was running back to a home where there was no protection, a home that seemed to cement all the horrific things those boys said about me. At the age of 28, I woke up to the burning fact that my journey and everything I was doing with my life was about healing that 8-year-old girl. The little third grader Viola, who I always felt was left defeated, lying prostrate on the ground. I wanted to go back and scream to the 8-year-old me, stop running. I wanted to heal her damage, her isolation. That is, until a therapist a few years ago asked me, "Why are you trying to heal her? I think she was pretty tough. She survived." It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was speechless. What? No poor little chocolate girl from Central Falls, she's a survivor? He leaned forward as if to tell me the biggest secret or to solve the biggest obstacle of my existence. "Can you hug her? Can you let her hug you?" he asked. "Can you let her be excited about the 53-year-old she's going to become? Can you allow her to squeal with delight at that?" I sat there with my arms crossed. No way. I'm the one who made it out. I have the authority. I looked over at the empty space next to me on the couch and saw my younger self so clearly. She sat there waiting to be embraced, to be acknowledged, to be let in. He leaned towards me, staring at me, tough, stout, insistent, and said, "It's the 53-year-old that needs some help." Silence is all I could muster by way of response. "That little girl survived," he stated empathetically. I kept my arms crossed, steely. He leaned back and waited for those arms to uncross. They never did. The final stretch to finding me would be allowing that 8-year-old girl in, actively inviting her into every moment of my current existence to experience the joy she so longed for, letting her taste what it means to feel truly alive. I think this is something that everyone can really relate to. It's which memory are we stuck in? It talks through self-love, through forgiveness, through letting go, through allowing yourself to live in the moment now. And this whole book is filled with nuggets like this, that when you read that, you actually close the book and introspect. It helps take a journey for yourself. And I think that's what she's done so brilliantly here. So many different pieces of introspection that is required through one passage. It's funny, with the complaints about hygiene, no one ever asked us about our home environment. No one asked us if we were okay or if anything was wrong. No one talked to us. There was a lack of intentional investment in us little black girls. A few people would drop what they called useful affirmations like, work hard, stay in school and do good, be great, behave and don't get in trouble. There was an expectation of perfectionism without the knowledge of emotional well-being. What it left in me was confusion. How do I get to the mountaintop without legs? But we constantly push it with kids now, and when you're a poor kid growing up with trauma, no one is equipping you with the tools to do better, to make a life. It's funny that I loved my 4th grade teacher so much and wanted her to love me with the same intensity. As traumatizing as it was to be told I smelled, it was worse feeling the shame. It was so overwhelming that I went home and did everything the nurse said. I washed my underwear, clothes, scrubbed my privacy and underarms. It gave me a sense of pride to go back to school the next day clean. I sat in class with a huge smile and waited to be acknowledged for the change. But I wasn't. None of the teachers who complained ever really noticed us at all after that. You're expected to be clean, not celebrated. The invisibility of the 1-2 punch that is blackness and poverty is brutal. Mix that with being hungry all the damn time and it becomes combustible. If you're hungry, you can't focus, you have no energy. School lunch was our stable, assured meal. The food stamps our family received the first of each month paid for a grocery run. But the food soon ran out. When it was gone, my sisters and I mooched off the families of friends and dumpster dives, rummaging through garbage for food. I would befriend kids whose mothers cooked 3 meals a day to go to their homes when I could. And this is another aspect that, irrespective of whether you've experienced it or not, in a country like ours where food poverty still is so rife, unemployment, you sit and think, how many kids are going to school who are hungry and can't think, and what type of advice do we keep giving? Same thing, be strong, but how are we emotionally equipping them? What can we do to make a difference? It's the education that's going to get them through, but how are they even getting to school? Yes, they have to be clean, and as she describes, just her fundamental journey and fight to something as simple or what we may take for granted is cleanliness, how it can affect a child even getting into adulthood. It's so easy to pass advice, give generality in things, but to actually deeply look into the issues itself. Again, another bit of this book that's so powerful. Another one was, and the last one I'm going to read to you is about her journey into Africa, which we get to call home. It was so beautifully explained. I'm going to read to you an extract. I left Africa 15 pounds lighter, 4 shades darker, and so shifted that I couldn't go back to what I was. I was always on the outside of Juliet because I wasn't on the inside of me. I was fighting an ideology about what an actor was, and it was all born in the depth of white superiority, the notion of the classics being the basis for everything. Yet, I was in the land of the classics. In Africa, there is the equivalent of every classical instrument known to man, and it predates any European instrument. There was a technical proficiency attached to drumming, dance, music, storytelling. Why is it limiting to play black characters, but white actors are versatile playing white characterized characters? Why do I have to be small, willowy, and lighter than a paper bag to be sexual? I'm playing a character, it's not porn. I was sold lies for 2 years, and the worst part is that I believed it because I couldn't combat it with anything else. Africa exorcised those demons. When I got back, no one recognized me. And that's the beauty of the country and the continent that we live in. And I think sometimes we take so much for granted because we're here, and her journey and what she experienced in her reawakening in Africa was so absolutely beautiful to read and to witness. It was really eye-opening. So strongly encourage you. It's a fantastic read into a journey for personal growth, personal development, finding yourself. She writes absolutely beautifully, and I would highly recommend this book. Definitely in my top 10 reads for 2023. Thank you.